What's going on, guys? WhiteFoxTale25 here with another video, and today we'll be doing another episode of the Elder Scrolls Online Saturday. So we're going to be talking about a bunch of stuff this week. We actually have quite a bit to go over because of an AMA on Reddit and an interview with a Gamer Informer, I think. But anyway, we have an interview and an AMA to go over. We got quite a bit of news, some exciting stuff about player housing, the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, pretty much all the stuff that I'm really excited for in the game. So we have quite a bit to talk about. So let's just get right into it and talk about the AMA first, and then we'll go into the interview with the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood a little later in the video. So first off, let's just talk about some random stuff we learned in the AMA in no specific order, but all of it's pretty cool. So first off, a little bit of news: the soundtrack for the Elder Scrolls Online will be available for streaming on Spotify and also for purchase on iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, and all like pretty much the main sources for music. So that's pretty cool because I didn't know right now you can buy the soundtrack. So, you know, obviously it's such a great soundtrack, so well like designed and written. So it's awesome to have it for sale and we can buy it. My question to the guy was if we could have it on vinyl at all, because I am a vinyl collector, and he said absolutely not. So it left me a little disappointed, but it's cool that we can finally buy the soundtrack. I'll probably pick it up and just play it whenever I'm in the mood for it. Usually I listen to a little bit of different style of music, but the soundtrack is so beautiful in the game. It's definitely worth picking up when it does come to iTunes. Again, that's sometime in December. But moving on, let's talk about some stuff that's in development right now that they confirmed during the AMA. So I'm just going to list some stuff off. So right now this is all in the works, not necessarily coming soon, but it is something that they have, you know, on their mind and that they are working on. So the Justice PvP system, so that's the system where, you know, if you get a bounty on your head, someone can hunt you down and collect that bounty. So they said it's coming, but we haven't gotten it quite yet. So that has been in the works for a while. So hopefully we'll see it kind of soon. Spell crafting, that really awesome system that looked like it was coming soon, but then kind of fell off the map. I was afraid it had gotten scrapped, but apparently it is still in development, so we have that to look forward to. Player housing, a big, you know, player favorite, that's coming. Jewelry crafting is in the works. Poison making, crafting bags, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. A barber shop where you could change your hairstyle and just your look overall. A race and sex change is coming. A class change, and also an alliance change. So all of those things are in the works and in development. Again, not necessarily coming soon, but they are in the works, and you know, they're working on them right now. So that's pretty cool. One thing that stands out to me is like the race, sex change, class change, and alliance change. I definitely would not expect that to come, just because it's not something we usually see in like MMOs, and I definitely wouldn't expect it in an Elder Scrolls game. But I'm not really against it. Personally, I'm not going to change any of those things. But, you know, I know some people do get bored of what they have. So changing it up, especially if you're not a big role player or anything, is just a nice option. So it's cool that they're bringing that into the game. A barbershop is a really cool feature, something people have been asking for quite a while. And it'd be really cool to add a beard to my character. So I'm kind of excited for that one too. Moving on to some zones that are currently in the works. We have Abba's Landing, which will be the Thieves Guild zone. That's going to come where we can, you know, do Thieves Guild stuff, but I'll talk about that towards the end of the video. We have the Gold Coast in Cyrodiil, which is where the Dark Brotherhood quests are going to take place. Again, towards the end of the video we'll go a little bit more in depth of the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild. But we also have Murkmire, which is an adventure zone. So if you guys don't know, an adventure zone is a zone where like the quests and the enemies were more geared towards 4-player groups or larger. So you're going to want to buddy up to take on those quests. We have Clockwork City, which is a really cool Dwemer zone. It's underground. The developers have said they're really excited for that zone, so you know that makes me pretty excited. They said it's really different, so that's always good. And then last up we have Mafala Zone, and that is a Daedric Prince. So another Daedric zone, kind of like Cold Harbor. So again, that's not going to be in Tamriel, so it's always cool to get those, you know, places to explore that we don't always see. So that's one I'm definitely looking forward to. So those are all the zones that right now that I think are in development that we'll see this soonest, but they're definitely always working on zones. Like they said in the interview, you know, it's kind of going to be a big part of the Elder Scrolls Online from now on to add zones with every DLC. So that's pretty awesome because obviously we all like to explore Tamriel, so it's something to look forward to with every update. So another thing they are working hard on is to remove the lag in PvP. A lot of PvPers have been complaining about lag for quite a while, especially with the last updates, so they're working hard to remove it. They said it's like their #1 priority PvP related, so hopefully that is lifted soon, because I know it's really annoying when you're playing PvP and you know you're just getting lag and you can barely play. I've definitely experienced it. I haven't been playing too much PvP lately, been too busy with the Orsinium update, but I know it can be really annoying. So it makes sense that they're working really hard, and if you are experiencing that, just hold on, because you know they are, like I said, working pretty hard to remove that lag for you. So veteran ranks are not going to be increasing until the time they're removed, which will be sometime next year. So the level cap will never be above veteran rank 17. So you're at VR 16 right now. Congrats, you reached the level cap. But it will be removed. If you guys didn't know, it's going to be removed and replaced completely with just champion points, which I think is a better system, and a system that probably should have been in place from the beginning of the game. I'm never a huge fan of the veteran ranks. I know some people are kind of disappointed that all the grinding and stuff they did will be for nothing, but it really won't be, because keep in mind that the champion points that you've gained through grinding will still give you, an advantage. Alright, so let's move on to some crafting stuff. So first off, the Trinimac style. If you guys played the Orsinium DLC, kind of the armor that the Trinimac people wear, it looks really cool. So a Trinimac style motif is in the works. Not sure when that's going to come in, if it'll be on the Crown Store or whatnot. But it does look really cool just from seeing, the people wear it in the Orsinium DLC. Definitely excited to get my hands on that one. So that is in the works. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. But that is coming, so something to look forward to. We also have the crafting bag and bank coming. So that's a place where you can, store your materials like firewood or, whatever else, cloth or anything like that. So you don't always have to constantly be carrying that around. And then when you go to a workshop, it'll be there for you to use. So a nice convenient feature, and one that doesn't really punish people who collect a lot, because I know sometimes my inventory is completely full and I just can't collect any more materials or anything like that. So if you are a crafter, that's some awesome news for you guys. So one last thing for the AMA, and this is the thing that really made me the most excited, is that they're considering adding Elder Scrolls holiday events. Now, you guys probably heard me complain about some of the Halloween themed items in the Crown Store a little bit earlier in October, but this is completely different. These are in-game holidays, so think of holidays that take place in Tamriel, not like Christmas or Halloween, but actual in-game holidays, holidays they actually celebrate in Tamriel. So there would be events, like NPCs would randomly, go to town square and do some ceremony. It would just add so much immersion to the game, and they said they are working on it. It's not going to be coming to the game soon, but it is something they're thinking about. So I just can't even imagine how awesome that would be. Make the world feel so much more alive, and it's something I've actually been asking for, I think, since the beginning of the launch of the game. Is something that I really want to see. I think it would add a whole new level of immersion. So really excited for that, and I just can't believe that they're working on it. It really surprised me, and it made me super happy. So next up, player housing, something I know we're all really excited about. Another big surprise, they said we're going to get some more news on player housing right after the Dark Brotherhood update. So that's going to be somewhere around summer 2016. So that's a big surprise, just because they said player housing was a ways away. But now it looks like we might get it in 2016, if not, definitely in 2017. So not as far off as I thought it would be. And I think player housing is something we're all looking forward to. Being able to build your own house, even just buy your own house or customize it in some way, it's just really, it would be so amazing. And like I said, it would just improve the game so much. So definitely excited for that, and when we do get more news, definitely expect me to cover it. But moving on, let's talk about the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood. So we got some information during the AMA, and also some during an interview with Matt Fryer on MMORPG. So this is the first concrete information we've had on either guild. They've teased us, they've put up some, we know things during QuakeCon and stuff, but this is the first time we've actually gotten some information on how, the quests and the guilds are actually going to work. So let's just get right into it. So they said in a quote during the interview, Thieves Guild takes place in part of Hammerfell that you haven't seen yet in ESO, and Dark Brotherhood is going to take place in Anvil and Kavach in Western Cyrodiil, which is not part of the PvP Cyrodiil. So they said that during the interview. Like I said, that's a direct quote. So it looks like these quests and these guilds are going to be introduced in separate zones. So what I speculated for a while is that they were going to be introduced and already going to take place in zones we had already seen. But that's definitely not the case. Like I said in the quote, the Thieves Guild is going to take place in Hammerfell, and the Dark Brotherhood is going to take place in Cyrodiil. So we also got some more information on the Thieves Guild. But you guys can see a video on the screen of Alba's Landing, which is where the Thieves Guild is going to take place. So they've talked about Abba's Landing a little bit, and like I said, shown us some footage which you can see on the screen. So Abba's Landing, they said, is really vertical. There's a lot of like different layers of the city, kind of like Orsinium, but they said even more so. So if you guys like how, you know, Orsinium felt like a real city, this is definitely going to be even more. There's like so many layers. It look like, just from the gameplay, it almost looks like parkour, just jumping around, which would probably work really well with the Thieves Guild. Now they also said they have a winged pet planned for the Thieves Guild release. Not sure what it will be. They said it's not a bird, so we'll have to wait and see. Probably something Daedric would be my guess. Other than that, guys, they said the Thieves Guild has improved like incredibly graphically, so I guess the game has better graphics in that one zone, which is kind of interesting, but we'll have to wait and see. I always think ESO looks beautiful as it is, so any graphic improvement is, you know, a pretty big deal. But that's pretty much it for the Thieves Guild, but we did get some information. The biggest thing is that it is going to take place in a separate zone, and again, it's going to take place in Hammerfell in Abba's Landing. So my guess is it's going to be a smaller zone and have a lot of just quests that involve the Thieves Guild, maybe a couple side quests, but probably really focusing on the Thieves Guild. And again, I would definitely suspect it to be a smaller zone, probably based around more of the city than anything else. But moving on to the Dark Brotherhood, which I know people are really stoked on. The Dark Brotherhood is going to take place, like I said, in Cyrodiil, but not the PvP Cyrodiil. It's a completely separate PvE zone. And it's going to have the cities Kavach and Anvil, which of course are returning from Cyrodiil. So we're going to see those in the game, and again, this zone will have a Dark Brotherhood storyline. And it's really cool that they're doing that, because it's going to be, I think, a huge Oblivion like throwback. I really love the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion. So, you know, exploring those zones and doing, you know, some PvE in that area is going to be really cool, and it's going to be like a huge flashback, you know, to that game. So really excited for that. I really can't wait to see what the Dark Brotherhood Sanctuary looks like. I love the way the sanctuaries looked in Skyrim and in Oblivion, so definitely going to be really cool, and hopefully, you know, keep that creepy Dark Brotherhood vibe. But again, I guess this is probably going to, you know, stay the same as the Thieves Guild. I guess it's going to be a smaller zone, obviously, you know, not the same size as Cyrodiil because it's so much smaller. My guess is these will probably be like half the size of a normal zone, even if they are that big. And again, I would definitely suspect them to take place more around these two cities than anything else. So the zones will be leveled just like Orsinium is leveled. They've already said that. So you can play these quests and these, you know, these guild storylines at any level. It's just going to scale you up to max so you can take on those harder enemies. So that's pretty much all I have, but again, some really cool news. We know where the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild are taking place. We also know a little bit how they're going to work. Again, my speculation was completely wrong. These are going to be separate zones with, you know, different Dark Brotherhood and Thieves Guild storylines. So that's pretty much it for the video, guys. Again, some really cool news this week, so I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you guys want to see anything, just leave a comment below. If you guys liked the video, give it a like. If you want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because as always, we will have more Elder Scrolls news, more Fallout stuff, and hopefully some more Star Wars stuff coming in the next couple months and week. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it and you want to see more. And if you did, like I said, hit that subscribe button. If you do want to check out my Twitter and Instagram, you can do so in the description below. Thank you guys as always for watching. It means the world to me. And hopefully I'll see you in the next one, guys.